Hey, a very good Saturday to you. I'm CNYCentral First Alert Meteorologist Matt Stevens checking out the almanac numbers. Actually have something fairly significant to pass along to you. Picked up 10.1 inches of snow yesterday at the Syracuse Hancock Airport. That breaks the snowfall record for that day, which was 7.6 inches set back in 1974. So a new record in place for yesterday, February 1st at the Syracuse Hancock Airport. 32 degrees is our typical high this time of the year. I think we end up well below that today, nearly 10 degrees below that, and that's purely looking at the air temperature. I think when you factor in the wind chill, feels even colder than that. Looking for a high today of only about 23, feeling like the single digits and the teens when you factor in the wind chill. Our record high is 53. That's set back in 1973. Our record low, minus 19, 1961. Both of those are safe. Our typical low this time of the year is around 16 degrees. We'll be in the rough ballpark of that over the next few nights, and we'll talk about that on the 7-day coming right up. Let's take a little closer look at our snowfall situation. So far this year, we've picked up 56.9 inches of snow. Typically, by this point of the season, we'd have about 77.6 inches of snow. That's still doing better compared to where we were last year at this time. Remember, we had only about 31 or 32 inches of snow at this point last year. So at least we're making up the deficit. We had, until very recently, been running a deficit of nearly 3 feet of snow for the snowfall season. Obviously, that 10 inches yesterday helping us out. Here's a futurecast picked up at 8 o'clock this morning. Going to run this out through the middle of today. Early on, actually all day, lake effect raging northeast of Lake Ontario. But for the rest of us, including the greater Syracuse area, we're into some light area-wide snow. I think by this afternoon, called a trace to an inch or so by the end of today. Locally, much heavier amounts in that lake effect, and we'll discuss those with my snowfall forecast coming right up. Hour by hour through this evening, area-wide snow tapers. Some lingering lake effect northeast of the lake dries up overnight. Then during the day Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, early breaks of sun, otherwise increasing cloudiness, and we're back into some area-wide snow, I think, by mid to late afternoon. I think we get some more accumulation out of that particular round of area-wide snow compared to the light stuff we have in the works for today. So here's my hour-by-hour forecast heading through this morning. Lake effect snow well up to the north off the northeast end of Lake Ontario. That makes sense. See our winds southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So it makes sense we'd be steering the lake effect northeast of the lake. Breezy. For the rest of us, we got a few breaks of sun around this morning. However, those will start to give way to increasing clouds. We're still breezy this afternoon. High temperature up around 23 degrees. Feels more like the single digits and the teens for a good chunk of today when you factor in those winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And we're into some area-wide snow by this afternoon. Here's what we're thinking snowfall-wise. New snow for today. Area-wide, trace to an inch during the daylight hours for the vast majority of our viewing area. However, northeast of the lake, 2 to 5 inches possible in that deep blue shading. White shading, 6 to 10 new inches of snow possible today from a locally intense band of lake effect snow northeast of the lake. Hour by hour through this evening, area-wide snow tapering off, some residual lake effect up to the north. Temperatures are down to about 17 for an overnight low. Winds back off a little bit as well overnight. New snow for tonight, area-wide trace to an inch, 2 to 4 new inches with that weakening and dying lake effect east and northeast of the lake. Here's my 7-day forecast. 23 degrees, my projected high for today on this Groundhog Day. 17 degrees, our low for tonight. Lingering residual lake effect dies out. Tomorrow, early breaks of sun, then increasing clouds. 29 our high, into some area-wide snow by tomorrow late afternoon and through the evening. Transitions to some lake effect snow Sunday night and turning colder Monday.